Hey everyone, RJ here. Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be focusing on one of the most underrated, overlooked smartphones of 2023. And I got a feeling the reason why it's being so overlooked is because of the name brand of the phone, which you can see in the title there, so no surprise. But it is the Blue Bold N3. Now, this came out around summer of 23, and I have had it for quite a few months, and my experience with it is just fantastic. Now, I do want to go over some specs with you just to kind of show you what you're getting with this phone at the price point that you're getting this phone at. And if you're looking for a phone that's going to really do pretty much anything that you want it to do without spending four, five, six, $700 on a phone or even more, this might be the phone for you. And hopefully this will be shown out to many people who might be looking for a phone in the budget to mid-range category that's going to give you more than what you're paying for. So first off, we're getting a 6.78-inch full HD display. Okay, it's coming in at 1080 by 2400. It is an AMOLED panel with 120 hertz refresh rate, 20 by 9 aspect ratio with 388 pixels per inch. And I will say that the display is beautiful here on this phone. It's got the curved display. Some like that, some don't. I'm more of a flat display person, but minimum bezels here. Very nice AMOLED panel here. I mean, just sharp, bright, vivid colors, and the screen does get pretty bright. Phone is very smooth here as well with that 120 hertz refresh rate. Now, power in this phone is the MediaTek Dimensity 7050 octa-core processor. Now, some has some issue with MediaTek. To me, MediaTek, their Dimensity chips are very good. Okay, no problem whatsoever. You also get 8 gigabytes of RAM, and this phone starts, well, actually their only storage configuration is 256 gigabytes of storage. Okay, no SD card slot, but you're getting a phone here that costs $249. That's got 8 gigabytes of RAM, storage is 256. You're getting a nice, in my opinion, mid-tier processor, an AMOLED panel, all of that at $250. So let's go ahead and continue. For the cameras, you're getting a triple setup. You're getting a 50 megapixel wide angle lens, aperture of f1.9, an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle lens, and 2 megapixel macro lens. And you can record at 4K at 30 frames per second. Now for the front camera, 16 megapixel wide angle lens, and it says it can record at 4K at 30 frames per second. So 4K 30 on the rear and front. And you can look here, I like the way the back camera sensor or back camera is. Kind of gives you that Xiaomi look in a way, just a little bit smaller, as you can see right there. And I think the Bold N2 had dual front cameras, but this has got a single, which is not much of a big deal. But anyway, camera's pretty nice. One thing that it is missing is stereo speakers. That would have made this phone perfect in my personal opinion. But anyway, we'll go ahead and go on from there. It's got an optical under display fingerprint scanner. It has face unlock as well, and fingerprint scanner is pretty good. We'll get into that here in a little bit. Now for the battery, we got a 4700 milliamp hour battery. But here is what's crazy. 66 watt fast charging with the fast charging brick in the box. You know that Blue Bold, they send out everything one-stop shopping whenever you get their phones. Case, wall brick, cable, this, that, and everything else. And it only comes in one color, which is this sage green with this matte look here. It is glass, so, it is really nice, built very well, and all that kind of good stuff there. And you get all of that for a price of $249.99. Now, down here at the bottom, if you tap on the display, I think here, let's try that again. Bottom there, you'll see the fingerprint scanner. Let's try to get this here in one swipe. There we go. And it's not too bad. I mean, it ain't the fastest in the world, but I mean, it does work. As you can see right there, boom, no problems. And the phone, for what you're getting, even though it only has one mono firing sticker on the bottom, the speaker quality is good. It's got a nice full sound to it. It's not, of course, it's not as good as a dual stereo speaker setup, but it does sound pretty good. Now, the cameras. Now, when you pay $250 for a phone, and you're getting all these goodies. I mean, you're getting the storage, you're getting the RAM, you're getting a good processor, you're getting a good display, all this. And also, I got to remember about network compatibility. Yeah, got to remember that. But anyway, you got to make some sacrifices here and there. And I would say the sacrifice is going to be in the camera department, unfortunately. Now, the cameras are not bad. If you are outside and you are in good lighting, no problems with camera quality, okay? You're going to get some really good snaps, get some really good video. I don't think it's got optical image stabilization, so you might have to want to, have really steady hands or a tripod or a gimbal or something like that to kind of keep the video more stable. But the 4K video looks pretty good. The cameras takes really good outside photos and really good light. And in low light, it does suffer, of course, because I mean, sacrifices. $250 for a phone that's got this much power, that's going to basically be able to do what you want it to do. Sure, it's not $1,000 flagship phone, but if you ain't got the kind of money to spend on a phone, and you're basically you're taking pictures, if you're on social media a lot, and just stuff like that, watching content, this, that, and the other, this is the perfect phone for you. I mean, $250, you're not going to be able to beat that price. And I haven't found a phone out there yet at this price point that's going to beat it. I haven't, personally. It's going to give you all the bells and whistles. So I would say that the cameras is probably one of the areas where it has some sacrifices to it. It does really good daylight shots and good bright lighting, but in lower light, it's definitely not a Samsung or a Pixel, nothing like that, okay? Okay, so here is a front-facing video sample from the front camera of the Blue Bold N3. I decided to put this in here after recording the video, so I have to put it somewhere in the camera area of this video. Now, this does cap out at full 1080 on the front camera. It said 4K, but it is indeed 1080. The same ring light is behind me with the same light and everything. Ain't nothing changed. So, yeah, I wanted to just in here, let y'all know, let y'all see the video quality. If you are in lower light, maybe you have a ring light that you use, this is the quality you can expect from the front-facing camera of the Blue Bold N3. So let's go ahead and get back in with the video. Now, for network compatibility, I have Boost Mobile on the AT&T network, and it works fantastic, okay? I have no problems with connection. But it does say that it's not eligible to be activated on AT&T or Cricket because, AT&T and Cricket, they're dictators over there. And a lot of phones, they won't allow it on their service unless it's their own phones or like, iPhones, Samsungs, Google Pixel, stuff like that. And more phones are getting added to the we don't want that phone on our carrier, you know what I'm saying? So T-Mobile, it works great. On Boost Mobile, on the AT&T network, it works great. Now, I have had questions, does it work on Verizon? Because it specifically says no CDMA, no Verizon. And I put my visible SIM card in there, which is on Verizon, and it did work. Data worked, calls worked, text worked, all of that worked. But it's not stable, okay? It's not something you want to rely on. You don't want to put your Verizon SIM card or visible SIM card or whatever MVNO Verizon uses or anything with Verizon to be out somewhere where you're liable to look down and the phone just shows no service when you should have service. Because I have been sitting here before, my visible SIM card in the phone, it shows 4G LTE, it shows good signal, I can use my data, make phone calls, and the next minute, boom, there's no service. Put it in airplane mode, out of airplane mode, still no service. Pull the SIM card out, put it back in, and it may pop back up showing it has service. So this phone here is really not optimized for Verizon. It does work on Verizon, and honestly, I think that if it has the compatibility to work on Verizon, and it does, for calls, for text, for data, it should be stable enough to work on the Verizon network without, just stopping and starting. With Visible, the APNs were in there from the get-go, had to do nothing to do that. It was showing everything was connected, but it just was not reliable enough on the Verizon network. Now you can take your chance, and if you got Verizon and buy this phone, you may not have any problems. But for me, it wasn't stable enough to sit there and say, yes, you can fully depend on this phone here to work on Verizon 100% of the time. Because there may be times, depending on the tower, depending on the band, it may just not work. So Boost Mobile on AT&T and all of AT&T's MVNOs like Red Pocket Mobile and others, it works fine, okay? AT&T or Cricket, you may have a problem. They may want to suspend your service and you got to pay fees, this, that, and the other, which you know how they are. But I would say over a few months of using this phone here, I've had no issues, okay? 66-watt wired charging. Does it have wireless charging? I can't remember here. Let me look it up right quick. Okay, it doesn't say. But you can charge it from 1 to 100% in 39 minutes as advertised. So under 40 minutes, you get 100%. So let's say you have, 20 minutes, your phone's down to like 10% battery. You got 20 minutes to charge it. You're going to be out the door again. You're going to get a full day of service on that 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, you really don't need wireless charging, okay? I mean, it's not that hard to plug a wall adapter into a wall and plug a USB-C into a phone. I mean, come on. I mean, especially when charging this fast. I mean, just plug it in. It ain't gonna hurt you. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's not that it all comes in the box and ready to go for you. So, in my opinion, I think it's a great phone. Now, someone used the arguments, well, it don't get updates. I have been getting bi-monthly updates on this phone. I got one, I just got an update to October, actually. Make sure that I am correct on that. But I do believe that I just got an update. Yep. October 5th, 2023. It is on Android version 13. If you don't believe me, right there it is. Try to get it out of the ring light. But yeah, October 5th, 2023 security patch. How long will it get updates? I really don't know, but so far it has been pretty stable and getting updates or security patches every 2 to 3 months since I have got the phone. So yeah, will they support it for a long period of time? I doubt it, but we'll have to see where that goes. So that's not the most important thing in the world anyway in a phone. You're paying $250 for a phone. It's going to work. It's going to work great. And, I mean, of course, you can get a defective phone in anything. I don't care if it's $250. I don't care if you buy an $1,800 foldable phone. You can get a defective product. But you know what? There are exchanges. You can make an exchange if you're under a certain amount of days or whatever. So, if you're looking for a phone with a premium build, a good-looking design, a really good processor, really good display for watching content, for browsing your social media, and playing your games. It may not handle the most graphic intense games, but it's going to handle most games you throw at it with really fast charging and everything in the box ready to go for $250. Now, they did not send me this phone, okay? So all opinions are my own, which even if they did send me the phone, the opinions would still be my own, because y'all know me well enough by now that if it's sent to me or I buy it, I'm going to give you my honest opinion about it regardless. So just my opinion on this phone here. It's a great phone. Cameras are lacking some in lower light situations. It's not the greatest in the world. In bright outdoor sunlight, no problem whatsoever. You're going to take really good shots. So that's just my follow-up there on the Blue Bold N3. Hope it was helpful. And if it was, be sure to leave a like. If you got any comments, leave it down below in the comment section. I would like to, I'll get back with you as soon as possible. And if you're new here, not a subscriber, be sure to consider subscribing. and turn on that post notification bell. Hopefully you'll get notified when I release new videos. Y'all have a good one, and thanks for watching.